Welcome back, you guys. It's your girl, Lovely Shanna Shante, and I'm back with another book review. So, if you watched my June TBR, one of the books that I was reading was Real by Kennedy Ryan. And so, let's hop into that review right now. Where do I even start? I'm kind of disappointed in myself because usually I like to buy the physical book, but I was definitely not disappointed with this book, Real by Kennedy Ryan, because, all right, let me give you a little bit of it. So I had a series of books that I had just bought for the June TBR that I just mentioned earlier. Make sure if you haven't watched that video, go back and watch that, and you can kind of see the list of the books that I am reading right now. And Real is an ebook and an audiobook. So my library right now has, through Hoopla app, they have the audiobook for Real right now. And I said, let me give it a try. I wanted to kind of give myself a break at reading a book. And so I said, oh, this sounds really fun. And I love books that have like a certain time era that's thrown in. So this one is like that old money, old Hollywood, old Harlem Renaissance feel to it, but we have Black characters. So if you're interested in those type of books, and then it throws in some romance, it does throw in a good bit of spice. And this is my first Kennedy Ryan book, so that I can get a good feel of how the rest of her books will be. One, she is a great author. Love the way that she writes. Would definitely read another book by her that she has written. So not to bore you guys, but I just want to kind of tell you about the book without giving too many details away, because honestly, you need to read the book, which is something that I'm going to do. I'm going to actually end up purchasing the book because I enjoyed it that much after listening to the audiobook. So the audiobook is so fun. You get to hear a male character's voice. You get to hear the female character's voice. You even get to go back in time in history to other characters and their voices and what they sound like. And it's just so fun. There's singing involved. Like the people that they used to actually do the voiceovers with were perfect. Like it makes it so engaging, it's so fun, and like I would highly recommend it. Even if you bought the book Real, REEL, then make sure you get a chance to listen to the audiobook. Okay, so all right, so we start off the book with our male character, our main character, which is Canon Holt. He is a movie film director. And we get to hear a little bit of the sadness from his mother's death. And they're filming, his mother was a photographer, but he was also like recording and documenting her life leading up to her death. So we'll get to see a little bit of that, and you'll read that throughout the book, like what happened with his mom and things like that, and how he makes references to his mom, and you can really tell that he really misses her, and it gives you that really realistic feeling of a person who may have lost a parent before. But it doesn't get too serious in this book, so I do like that it doesn't get that deep into like the loss of a parent. All right, Canon Holt, our movie film director, he is making this biopic on this old Hollywood star who was around the Harlem Renaissance era, the 1920s. Her name is Desi Blue. Okay, and so Desi Blue lived out in Paris during the time where African Americans were not treated fairly in the United States. So she was like an expat or expatriate, and she went over to France, and there she blew up. She became this huge, celebrity. And he's basically doing that biopic on her life and her love story. And it gets really intriguing because as he discovered things about Desi Blue, he discovers that she not only had one love interest, but she had two, honey, two love interests. And you got to read the book to figure it out, because Miss Desi is something. But I do love in the book how you get to go to the different scenes of Desi Blue. So you will get to see in the book where Canon Holt is filming the actual movie in certain chapters, and it gives you a little bit of history thrown into what is currently going on in Canon Holt's life. At first, I did not want to like Canon. And oh, by the way, his name is Canon, like named after the Canon camera, because his mom was a photographer and that's what she named him. So that's where we get that Canon Holt from. He's a household name. He's a film director. Everybody knows him. He's highly respected. He does have a past, though, that in the past he has dated one of the movie stars that blew up. And, you know, people that work, his crew and his cast and everybody who works with him currently in the book, you know, they do kind of bring it up every now and then, especially when he is looking for someone to play the lead role of Desi Blues. Okay, so then we get to our girl Neevah, who has a background in Broadway, and basically she's not known, and she finally gets her big break when I think somebody is sick or something, or they go on vacation. I can't remember. And this is why I need the actual physical book, because sometimes when you have an audio book, you will forget some of those key details because you don't have the text to go back to. But anyway, she gets her big break on stage. And so Canon and Monk, who is also his friend / works with his production crew, they go in to see her. And right away, Canon sees her, he sees her look, he hears her voice and sees her sing on stage. And he's like, right away, this is her. We've been searching for months trying to find somebody to play Desi Blue, and she's gonna be the perfect woman to play this character. We do have a slight dilemma with our girl Neevah, though. Neevah Saint, which I just love her name, Neevah Saint. She doesn't have a background in acting. And so how in the world is Canon gonna be able to convince his cast and his, you know, co-directors and all of those people that she is the perfect fit? And he's just like, you know what? They're just gonna have to see her. We're gonna audition her first and see what they think about her. And if they feel what I just felt watching her at this Broadway play, then she definitely has it. Well, not only that, but he is looking at her and he's trying to like not think about her in that type of way. Although, again, this is where it kind of gets brought up again. Oh, you just want her because you want to have her to yourself type of thing. And he's like, no, I really think that she would be the perfect person for this role and for this movie that we're going to film. Like, I really feel like I feel moved by her. I feel like she's going to definitely just pull through for us. And so Neevah is like, oh my gosh, this is my big break. Oh man, the movie director is fine. He is really fine, but I need to focus. I'm attracted to him. He does kind of make me nervous, and I hope that I'm not showing that. And it's so cute that they both feel the same way all throughout the book. And oh man, I will probably end up giving too many details about this book, but it's so good. It's so interesting. It keeps you engaged the entire time. All right, so Neevah, her audition is a success and she gets the part. And so, of course, they have to, you know, get her quickly into her role, give her the lines and everything that she has to practice. She also is like thrown into a bunch of like dance routines and things like that because it is the Roaring 20s. So you do have those different things that, you know, those different type of performances. And so that's part of what the real Desi Blue does. So we get two stories here. We get like to see this love story that's in the making with Canon and Neevah, who is working on this biopic while also reliving out the love story of Miss Desi Blue. So it's a really fun, like you get two different things going on at the same time. So it's like really fun and takes you back into history. So if you like that, like I said earlier, you would definitely enjoy this book. So a quick disclaimer. This book will tug at your heart in ways that you probably were not prepared for. So if you have had someone in your family that has dealt with a certain illness that affects them every day, like it affects one of the characters in this book, you will definitely, you will feel some type of way. Like you might even have a little tear come out. Now, it didn't make me cry, but it definitely hit home as far as like knowing someone that might, deal with certain illnesses all the time and they still have to live their life. So, one of the characters, I won't say who, but one of the characters is battling that while still trying to hold everything else together. And eventually it's going to catch up with them and they're going to have a big health scare that's going to like change the whole trajectory of how we're going to film this movie. Like, what are we going to do now that this person is about to be out of commission? How do we deal with that? And furthermore, feelings are starting to grow. How do I deal with this person that I just started having these feelings for, and now I have to care for them in a different way than what I thought of before, because now it's their health coming into play. And to me, I like this about this book because it shows a bit of realistic things that happen when you are with someone in a relationship. It's not always, hunky-dory. It is real life issues that come about. You may get sick. There may be things that happen in your life that may change how things may affect the rest of your relationship with that person. And if they're really in for the long haul, that is the true test to see if they're really going to stick it out with you and be by your side and support you through those hard times. It does get heavy real quick on you. So that's why I wanted to give out that disclaimer about if certain things like that might trigger you, or you may find yourself tearing up a little bit. I mean, it does hit home. Many people get sick and, many people have illnesses that are not curable and they still live with that for the rest of their life. But this is a romance story, so let's not forget that. It is very spicy. So if your spice level, I'd say making a 5 be the high level, like erotica books, I would put this book maybe a 3.5 to a 4. So once it starts a bit slow, it starts off slow with that. It'll start off pretty slow, and then as it starts slow, it starts picking up and the steam gets steamier and steamier and steamier in this love story. So if that's not your type of book, then I would say don't read it. But if you don't mind that, it is dabbled here and there throughout the book, and that's not just the main focus of this book. So that's what I really do like about it. There are other parts that are really important, like the health, like focusing on Hollywood and what life was like for Desi Blue in the 1920s, in that time period, and what her life was like and how she paved the way for other actors and actresses that were Black from that time period and in the future. So I think that part was really cool to see a bit of that historical value be put into the current love story. Like I said, it's 2 love stories in one. And I also read that this book is supposed to be like a love story to the Harlem Renaissance, if I'm correct. Correct me if I'm wrong. I might be saying that wrong, but it is like a love story to, those actors, and an ode to them in that time period. So I think that was pretty cool that she wrote the book this way. Hands down, I would give this book 5 stars. I would read it again and again and again. Like Kennedy Ryan book, along with 7 Days in June by Tia Williams, which is another one of the books. If you want to see that review, make sure you head to that one and watch it. Like, The way that their penmanship is really good. They write it so well, and they're so different, but at the same time, you're engulfed in everything that they are discussing within those books, and it just takes you into a whole nother world. And if you love books like that, then I would highly recommend you read Real by Kennedy Ryan. Okay, so that concludes today's review on the book that I have read so far. I've got some more books on my June TBR coming up, so you might not see me in a few. You might see me in a week or two, who knows? But I'm going to be reading those books. And if you enjoyed my video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so that you can see more videos like this. Until then, have a great day. Bye.